First, I would like you to join me in thanking community member Colin Delap for his beautiful music. Thank you. I would also like you to recognize our donors who, through their generosity, have made this ceremony possible. Please see their names listed on the back of your program. It is my pleasure now to invite you to listen to the president of the university, to welcome you to this wonderful milestone. And I want to introduce Dr. Harvey Stenger, president of Binghamton University, and a strong supporter of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. President Stenger will join you virtually to give a few words of welcome. President Stenger.
Welcome to the newest class of Binghamton University School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. It's wonderful to see you here virtually, and I want to thank you for choosing Binghamton. Our School of Pharmacy is now entering its 4th year, and this class is the final cohort that completes the school's enrollment. Congratulations to all of you. This is an outstanding group of students, chosen from the best and brightest in New York State, Northeast, and even as far away as Utah and Arkansas. But wherever you come from, I have confidence that you will excel here. All of you are at the center of what is the largest, most important project the university has been involved with over the past decade or more, the establishment of a health sciences campus in Johnson City. Your class and your school represents a new outpost of educational, clinical, and research excellence that will continue to define our great university. And of course, a great new school has to have facilities that are cutting edge so that we can train the best pharmacists and drug researchers in the country. This facility sets a national precedent in terms of learning and research spaces with high-tech classrooms, compounding lab, sterile room, home healthcare learning space, and a simulation suite. And it's just a really beautiful building, located close to UHS and Lourdes hospitals, where you will also be working. And looking ahead, we are also designing an additional $16 million research and development facility where pharmacy students and faculty will work with partners in industry and higher education to develop new treatments and delivery systems. And of course, we are moving forward on renovations to 48 Corliss Avenue, where a former shoebox factory will house our growing Decker College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Together, these schools, pharmacy, and Decker will anchor the new Binghamton University Health Sciences campus, establishing a nexus of innovation, creativity, and compassion in healthcare. The fact is, you've come to Binghamton at just the right time. Not only have we created a cutting-edge facility for you, but right now our nation needs trained pharmacists and pharmaceutical scientists. All of you are no doubt following the efforts to develop a COVID vaccine. All of us hope that this is something that is developed sooner rather than later, before you have completed your first semester at Binghamton, perhaps. But the impact of COVID will be something that pharmacists and pharmacy scientists will be addressing for years to come. We're in a race to develop not only a vaccine to eliminate COVID, but also to develop new therapeutics to address the health impacts of the disease, particularly over the long term, and for patients with other healthcare concerns. Binghamton is a university where we want to solve the world's most important problems, so it comes as no surprise that already faculty in the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences are already developing tissue-targeting technologies that will address the severe respiratory inflammation caused by COVID. Researchers also are working to develop a broad-based antiviral drug that will disrupt viral reproduction in host cells in the lungs of COVID patients, dramatically slowing disease progression. And in general, we are seeing more partnerships between our faculty and industry as they look for answers to the coronavirus. Indeed, Binghamton's faculty are actively developing technologies that target some of the most difficult healthcare challenges we are facing. At the same time, our pharmacists are often the public face for interactions with the healthcare system. Patients may see their doctor once or twice in a year, but they can interact monthly, even weekly, with their pharmacist. It is likely that in the near future, our pharmacists will be called on to provide and administer any COVID vaccine that is developed and will help patients affected by COVID-related health issues. So we can expect states to expand the role of our pharmacists in order to address this massive public health crisis, even as our scientists work to address the long-term impact of the disease. In the meantime, our pharmacy faculty and students are actively working to address COVID-related challenges. In fact, many of our students are working on the front lines in hospitals and community pharmacies across the state. And 58 students and faculty have been volunteering to help students as they return to campus these past 2 weeks. So again, you've arrived at Binghamton at an auspicious time. And so today, we officially mark your entry into the world of healthcare professionals. Here at Binghamton, you'll be learning from amazing faculty who are leaders in their fields. These are faculty who are incorporating electronic medical records in the learning experience, developing more effective uses of antibiotics to treat staph infections, and establishing new research centers that are making the School of Pharmacy a national leader in the fight against muscular dystrophy, opioid abuse, and Lyme disease. This is a sign of an active, energetic, and forward-looking program dedicated to improving lives, and we are delighted that all of you have joined on to make it even better. The medical professions are unique among the professional schools in having a ceremony like the donning of the white coat. I think it's a great tradition because it reinforces the idea that as you put on your coat, you're actually shouldering a new role with new responsibilities. It is a call to recognize the duties you have to the people you will be testing and to accomplish your tasks with professionalism and high ethical standards. I'm confident that all of you will rise to these responsibilities and make Binghamton University and our community a better place. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, President Stenger. It's now my pleasure to introduce another welcome to you. And this is the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, who is able to join us in person, Don Neiman. Please listen to him give you his welcome.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be with you this afternoon to congratulate you on your admission to Binghamton University's Doctor of Pharmacy program, and to be with you to witness a very important professional rite of passage. While I certainly wish that family members and loved ones could join you for this experience today, I know that they are with you in spirit, and also that many are watching on the live stream that we've set up for this event today. I'd like to ask our students to join in a round of applause to your parents, siblings, spouses, and partners who have helped and inspired you on the journey that brought you to this auspicious day. Maybe stand up, turn around to the camera, and let's give them a round of applause. I was told before we went on stage that there are actually 300 people who are tuning in. So they're not only with you in spirit, but they're with you through the miracle of Zoom. In a few moments, you will put on the white coat that marks the start of your preparation to become a pharmacist. It's a symbol of professionalism and your dedication to patient care, and it will remind you of the oath that you take today every time you put it on. The white coat also inspires confidence in the patients whom you will serve. Today, you're taking a big step because you are beginning a challenging program that will test your stamina, your commitment, your intellect, and your compassion the course of the next 4 years. But we know that you have everything it takes to succeed. Your academic preparation and character have been assessed by our faculty, who believe that you will flourish in the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences and subsequently in the profession of pharmacy. During the next 4 years, you will work hard, probably harder than you ever thought you could. But it will be a rewarding experience. You will make friends who will become part of your study groups, help you through the tough times, and who will become part of your professional network and be there for you 20 years from now. When you complete your PharmD 45 months from now, you will enter a profession with unlimited possibilities, a profession whose scope of practice is expanding and will continue to expand during the course of your professional careers. You will be part of dramatic changes in healthcare, the nation's largest industry. Changes that will deliver better patient care, bring healthcare to currently underserved populations, and do it in a way that is cost-effective and sustainable. So this is an exciting day for you, the beginning of a very exciting journey. But it's also an exciting day for me. When I became provost of Binghamton 8 years ago, the university was at the start of a period of rapid growth. To grow, we wanted to add new programs in high-need areas that would serve students and strengthen Binghamton as a research university. At one of the first meetings President Stenger and I had in the summer of 2012, we decided that establishing a pharmacy school was our top priority. And we agreed it must be a research-intensive pharmacy school that would strengthen Binghamton's reputation for excellence in the world of education and discovery. Now, that's something that was a tall order, because as you know, Binghamton University is ranked 31st among public universities by US News and World Report. So creating a pharmacy school that measures up to that was a difficult challenge, but it was one that we eagerly took on. We got off on the right foot because we hired Dean Gloria Meredith, an internationally recognized scientist who has done path-breaking work on therapeutics to treat Parkinson's disease, and who had also been the founding dean of a very successful pharmacy school in Chicago. With financial assistance from the state of New York and the leadership of Dean Meredith, we began design and construction of a state-of-the-art facility in Johnson City that is the envy of pharmacy deans, faculty, and students across the United States. Dean Meredith also recruited an excellent leadership team and top faculty to join the school. They designed an innovative curriculum that integrates basic science with pharmacy practice and helps students learn deeply and make the connections that will serve them well as they go into practice and research. They also developed a strong research program that enables students to gain experience that will expand their opportunities for residencies and a wide variety of practice opportunities once they leave the school. And of course, The research of our faculty will also lead to discoveries that will create new therapies and new approaches to clinical practice that will improve patient care and outcomes. Indeed, the research that's being done in the School of Pharmacy now has put the school on the map nationally. To be great, a school needs outstanding faculty, outstanding leadership, good facilities. But it also needs excellent students. People like you and the students who have come before you in the 3 cohorts that have preceded you in the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. The strong education that you receive at Binghamton will prepare you for successful careers, enable you to make your mark in the profession, and help us put the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences in the front ranks of American pharmacy school. So the vision that President Stenger and I had 8 years ago is becoming a reality. I can see it every day. It's becoming a reality thanks to Dean Meredith and her team, and also thanks to you. It's the heads and the hearts of our students, the grit and determination they bring to the school, their commitment to excellence that will prepare them to deliver the highest quality evidence-based care to patients across the state of New York and indeed around the country. The path you're starting on is exciting, but it won't be easy. Nevertheless, you have demonstrated that you have what it takes to succeed. You will also have the support you need from family, friends, faculty, fellow students. Our first class of PharmD students will be graduating this spring, and in 4 years, you will cross the stage at commencement and take your PharmD. When you do, you will be prepared for the full range of opportunities that this exciting and growing profession offers. So this afternoon, I want to congratulate you for the hard work and accomplishments that brought you to this spot today, and wish you the very best for success in your career at Binghamton and beyond. Thanks very much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you, Provost Neiman, for those welcoming words. I now want to introduce Dr. John Darcy, who will welcome you on behalf of the Dean's Advisory Council. Dr. Darcy is an alumnus of Binghamton University and a strong supporter of the school. He will join us virtually. Dr. Darcy.
My name is John Darcy, and on behalf of Dean Meredith's Advisory Council, it is my distinct pleasure and privilege to welcome you, the Binghamton University School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences class of 2024, to the 2020 White Coat Ceremony. The Dean's Advisory Council is composed of academic, corporate, and industry professionals, pharmacists, physicians, and community members and business leaders, all of whom have ties to Binghamton University and the Binghamton community itself. We work to support Dean Meredith on a variety of school and community-related issues, including accreditation, accreditation site visits, and strategic planning. In short, we are a group of people with strong community ties who care deeply about the success of the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. And by extension, we care deeply about you and your success as students, members of the Binghamton community, and as future pharmacy professionals. You are entering the pharmacy and broader medical profession at a time of unparalleled uncertainty. The impact of COVID-19 has disrupted all walks of life and taken many lives, leaving no one untouched. This has no doubt made your journey here to Binghamton University one of grit and determination. For that alone, you are all remarkable and exceptional individuals who have chosen to join a unique and remarkable institution of professional higher learning known for its excellence. I know this personally because I have 3 graduate degrees from Binghamton, 2 master's degrees, and a PhD. I know this institution well, and I can promise you that it will serve you in ways that you cannot even imagine at this moment in time. When I myself was just beginning my journey here over 20 years ago, a very wise member of the Binghamton staff said at my academic orientation, "A great institution of higher learning is not made of bricks and mortar or glass and steel. It is made of people, people who care, people who challenge you, people who help you grow as a person and as a student. It is these people who are the foundation and complete architecture of a great institution of higher learning." And I am here to tell you that at the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences and Binghamton University, these people are everywhere. In other words, my friends, your cup runneth over. So as you embark on your journey, I implore you to take advantage of all that is before you. Your futures are unlimited. There are so many options, it may even be overwhelming. To help you find your way, make connections. Make connections with faculty, with staff, preceptors, your fellow students, and even patients who will be in your care. They will help you find out who you are as a pharmacy professional. Are you a clinical pharmacist? Or are you a community pharmacist? Are you an epidemiologist or a health economics outcomes pharmacist as well? Do you work on a team caring for hospital patients? Or do you do your best work at the bench doing groundbreaking research? Or do you run a pharmaceutical company? You have so many options. So work hard, be open, imagine your future, and become one of those people who help keep this institution great. Thank you for your attention. And once again, on behalf of the Dean's Advisory Council, I wish you all the success in the world. And please know that we are so very happy to have you here and that you are now part of the Binghamton University School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences family. So welcome.
Thank you, John, for those inspiring words. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Gail Rattinger, Vice Dean of the
Thank you, Dean Meredith. And before I get started, welcome to all of you in the class of 2024. It's nice to see you out there. It's my great pleasure and honor to introduce Dr. Lynette Bradley Baker as the speaker for the class of 2024's White Coat Ceremony. Dr. Bradley Baker's professional journey is a living example of the lifelong learning that we want all of you to embrace. It is certainly a key element of her continued success. Dr. Bradley Baker is the Senior Vice President of Public Affairs and Engagement at the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. A member of the executive team there, she oversees a variety of elements of ACCP, including professional affairs, communications, knowledge management, information technology, strategic engagement, and membership. She's been on the staff at the organization since August of 2010. So 10-year anniversary coming up, and has held positions as the Director of Professional Alliance Development, as well as the Vice President of Public Affairs and Engagement there before being promoted to her Senior Vice President position. She graduated from the University of Maryland School of Pharmacy with a Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy, and from the University of Maryland Baltimore Graduate School with a Doctor of Philosophy with an emphasis on patient education and information services. She's worked in a variety of settings, including healthcare research, retail community pharmacy, and academia. Prior to joining AACP, she was an assistant professor at the University of Maryland School of Pharmacy, where she oversaw the pharmacy management courses, mentored PharmD MBA students, and was awarded a National Cancer Institute training grant. Before that, Dr. Bradley Baker worked for CVS in a variety of positions. She first started as a pharmacy tech and intern, and she rose to the manager of professional and college relations, where she was responsible for sourcing and recruiting pharmacists into the Mid-Atlantic region across multiple states. She's also worked as a principal health research scientist for Battelle Centers for Public Health Research and Evaluation. Additionally, while she was doing all of that, she completed 2 governor-appointed terms on the Maryland Board of Pharmacy, and she's held numerous leadership roles in professional associations. She's received numerous awards, a few of which include the University of Maryland School of Pharmacy Honored Alumnus, the Mutual Company's Distinguished Young Pharmacist Award for the state of Maryland, and she was the honorary president of the Maryland Pharmacists Association. She's the author of the book, Getting Started as a Pharmacy Manager, and most recently earned the American Society of Association Executives Certified Association Executive Credential. She brings to us her wealth of knowledge, experience, and passion across a broad spectrum of pharmacy. I have the utmost respect and esteem for her contributions to our profession. I would be remiss if I did not mention the effort and passion she's personally invested in working to transform and expand the role of community pharmacy to become a truly patient-centered enterprise. She will be speaking to you today about lifelong learning and some themes vital to a successful career. The first of which is exploring your opportunities to gain knowledge and experience. Next, expanding your network, and then embracing and growing your leadership. On a personal note, Dr. Bradley Baker and I met as assistant professors at the University of Maryland School of Pharmacy in Baltimore and built a strong relationship and friendship while we were there. We collaborated on a number of projects. We continue to collaborate on a number of professional projects as well as grow our friendship. I'd like you to now turn your attention to Dr. Bradley Baker as she speaks with you about her prescription for your ongoing success as you embark on your career in pharmacy. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I would like to first thank Dean Gloria Meredith, Vice Dean Gail Radinger, faculty, staff, and the university leadership for the opportunity to speak to the Binghamton University School of Pharmacy class of 2024. Special thanks to Dean Rachel Perry and IT Director Devin Lash, who are working with me to ensure that I was able to join you virtually this afternoon. And while I sincerely wish I could be there with you in person, I am certainly grateful for the technology to be able to speak with you about some things that I hope you will take to heart as you begin your studies towards your Doctor of Pharmacy degree. Congratulations to the class of 2024. Congratulations on choosing Binghamton University School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences to pursue your studies. Congratulations on your decision to become a pharmacist and to join a profession that continues to meet the needs of our society for comprehensive medication management and other public health related areas. And certainly congratulations on this afternoon on your white coat ceremony. This ceremony, as you know, marks your official entry into the profession of pharmacy. The white coat represents clinical service and patient care. And it also represents your compassion, your confidence, communication, curiosity, integrity, and sense of community. I'm going to touch on a few areas that when I was sitting in your chairs several decades ago that I wish maybe someone had shared with me as I started my pursuit. So I'm going to bring up my slide deck really quickly here. And we're going to go ahead and get started. The three areas that I'm going to spend a bit of time talking to you today about include exploring opportunities to gain knowledge and experience, expanding your network, and embracing and growing your leadership. And so the first one in terms of exploring opportunities to gain knowledge and experience. Certainly your decision to become a pharmacist and pursue the studies, the rigorous studies that you're going to go through over the next 4 years, demonstrates that you clearly have a quest for learning. And you're going to have so many opportunities during your pharmacy school experience to learn and grow through your didactic coursework, your small group activities, your service learning, the reflection exercises, simulations, the opportunities that you're going to gain through student organizations, both pharmacy and non-pharmacy related, and certainly your experiential education, which includes your introductory pharmacy practice experiences, or what's known as IPPEs, and your advanced pharmacy practice experiences, or what's known as APPEs. And I do want to warn you that pharmacy, just like all of healthcare, has a lot of acronyms, so be prepared to continue to learn those as well. Those IPPEs and APPEs are going to expose you to areas of pharmacy where pharmacists practice, and really will be an opportunity for you to take a look at areas that you may not be familiar with, and those that you may decide to pursue later in your development. So certainly take advantage of your experiential education opportunities, because I often when I look back on my own career, there's no other time that I had and that you may have where you're going to have the opportunity to have such a varied and diverse experiences. I also encourage you to ask each other questions, as well as your faculty, administrators, and staff. Challenge one another and listen to different perspectives, as it certainly will help with your professional development. I hope you've had a chance to look at your school's mission and vision. And as you read them on the screen, you can see that your mission and vision of Binghamton School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences emphasizes a leadership and learning environment. And certainly the vision reflects the quest for ongoing learning and growth. And that is one thing that as you become a pharmacist, you will, through licensure obligations, certainly have to have continuing education credits. But I think that this goes a little deeper. Continuous professional development, being that lifelong learner, is something that you're really going to gain an appreciation of while at Binghamton, and certainly once you go into your first formal practice in pharmacy. An example that I want to share with you regarding the embracing and learning new things has to deal with the Joint Commission of Pharmacy Practitioners, or JCPP. This is an organization that is almost 45 years old. It's a coalition of national pharmacy organizations who collaborate on various manners of common interests and concerns to pharmacy and pharmacist practitioners. And here we go with the acronyms. All of the member organizations that you can see on here, they're all made up of acronyms. But you're going to learn more about these as you go through pharmacy school if you haven't heard of some of them already. There's AACP, which is the organization that I work for, the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. You have APHA, which is the American Pharmacists Association, which represents pharmacists in a diverse number of settings, all across various settings. You have ASCP, which is the American Society of Consultant Pharmacists, ASHP, which is the American Society of Health System Pharmacists, and the like. And so this really does emphasize to me that there is a diverse number of areas that pharmacists can pursue and utilize in terms of being a part of organizations that will help them grow as practitioners. There are some groups that other national pharmacy associations or groups that are not part of JCPP, those such as the Board of Pharmacy Specialties, which that's the group that provides board certification for pharmacists. And there are actually right now 13 different board specialties that pharmacists can pursue, and more that are coming down the pipe. There's the National Association of Chain Drugstores, which consists of the larger drug retailers that work in the community. You have the Society of Infectious Disease Pharmacists, the Industry Pharmacy Association, the Pediatric Pharmacy Association, and the American Association of Pharmaceutical Sciences. And so with all of this, a lot of times you might hear some folks say, pharmacy just like medicine. I like to look at it the opposite way. The fact that pharmacy is something such a part of things that you're going through, and you'll find that their journeys to where they are so diverse. I have never met two faculty members that have had the same trajectory in terms of their journey. And it really does help to hear different people's stories, share your own stories, and be willing to be a resource to others. So that part of expanding your network, you should be able to, or you should be willing to offer your insight and your knowledge and your expertise to those that need it in the future as well. This slide lists the core values of your School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. And I think they're all things that truly you encompass or you wouldn't be there. But the one thing that I did want to emphasize is the professionalism core value. That is something that is of utmost importance to you as a student pharmacist. It's going to be of utmost importance to you as a pharmacist. Your professionalism is important because it provides that impression of you as an individual. As you go out on rotations and your IPs and AFPs on internships, your professionalism is going to be a reflection of your School of Pharmacy. It's going to be a reflection on the whole profession. And it really does add to your credibility and the relationships that you build both within the healthcare team and certainly with your patients. And I know that your faculty and administrators and staff care deeply about your professionalism. Obviously, it's part of the core values. And so just some advice to give to you, demonstrate the professionalism that I know that you have, be on time for your classes. And, punctuality is of utmost importance. Be a good listener, be an active listener, ask questions, take responsibility for your work and your actions, take initiative, and be that continuous and professional, ardent learner, as I mentioned previously, that is going to take you and you'll do well with it throughout your career. These are some other aspects of professionalism that I think are very important in the profession of pharmacy. And I think part of the reason why most of you, if not all of you, decided to pursue pharmacy is because you wanted to do work on behalf of others. You want to use your knowledge and your compassion to help others. And that really speaks to the altruistic nature that pharmacists have. Pharmacists have to being honest and having integrity, the respect for others, having that professional presence, being present when you're in class and when you're with your patients and when you're working with others, having that professional stewardship, so working with student organizations, both within the School of Pharmacy and outside the School of Pharmacy, finding that passion and taking it to that group in order to advance a need, whether that's patient care or another community need, and having that dedication and that commitment for excellence as well. So an example in pharmacy is really reflective in the Interprofessional Education Collaborative, or IPEC. This is a group that was founded back in 2019 by 6 national education associations of the health professions. And that did include pharmacy. We had my boss, Lucinda Main, was one of the founders representing AACP of IPEC. And the purpose of IPEC is to advance the interprofessional learning experiences that will help to prepare all health professionals for enhanced team-based care of patients and improve population health. So again, that started back in 2009. And at this point, in 2020, there are now 20 health professions that are a part of IPEC. And they really do help to guide curriculum development across all of the health professions. So that once pharmacists and nurses and physicians and social workers and dentists and dental hygienists, et cetera, go out into practice, they know the role of other health professionals that they may have to collaborate with for patient care, regardless of the practice setting that they work in. IPEC developed back in 2009, again, a set of competencies that you're going to learn about throughout your education at Binghamton. And interprofessional education has become a standard in health professions education, most notably, or I would think a big part of it is due to the IPAC formation and those competencies. This is a document that your faculty members and administrators know well. This is the Accreditation Council for Pharmacy Education, or ACPE, the standards that really mandate Binghamton School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences curriculum, as well as the other 143 colleges and schools of pharmacy that have to adhere to these standards in order to stay open and produce the fine pharmacists that we look to have in the future. And one of the standards, Standard 11, deals specifically with interprofessional education. This pharmacy was the first profession that took interprofessional education as part of their accreditation standards. Now most of the other health professions have it, but we, again, pharmacy has been a forefront leader in this way. And again, this standard really does help to ensure that the curriculum will prepare all of our students to be at their entry level upon graduation, be patient-centered oriented and be practice ready and team-based ready, regardless of the practice setting that they go to work in. The key elements of that standard really deal with interprofessional team dynamics, interprofessional team education, and interprofessional team practice. And this standard really does help to contribute to the goal of ensuring that you will be practice ready and team-based ready when you graduate. In terms of my professional network, mine probably started when I was born, because my father is a retired pharmacist, as was my godfather. My more formal network began with my first job, which was in a pharmacy when I was 16. I worked for two pharmacists who I'm still very close with today. One is retired and the other owns her own independent pharmacy. But they really, their actions and the way that the impact that they had on their patients' lives and on their medication compliance and adherence and just overall well-being really helped to propel me to make that decision to enter pharmacy school. And when in pharmacy school, you know, my network, just like yours, expanded greatly. I am still in contact with a lot of the folks that I graduated pharmacy school with. Thank goodness for Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter that helped with that. I was exposed to a lot of pharmacy leaders in Maryland. I graduated from the University of Maryland School of Pharmacy. I was the student representative on the Maryland Pharmacist Association through my work with APHA ASP, which is the Academy of Students of Pharmacy. Again, sorry to throw all these acronyms at you, but you're going to learn, by the time you graduate, you're going to know all of them like the back of your hand. And that really did expose me to a lot of different leaders and practitioners throughout the state of Maryland. And having that broad array of network through pharmacy school really helped when I went to apply to graduate school. I had no problems getting letters of recommendation. Once I was in graduate school, I had opportunities through my faculty members to work on several research grants. Once I finished graduate school, I became a part of a women's leadership group that was based in Baltimore, Maryland. I received an invitation to write a book for the American Pharmacist Association entitled Getting Started as a Pharmacy Manager. Again, all of these things came up because I had met people and had worked with people, have been on different committees. And so I really encourage you to get as involved as you can as your time allows while in pharmacy school to expand that network. Your Vice Dean, Gail Radiger, and I met when we were both on faculty at University of Maryland School of Pharmacy and became very good friends and have worked on a lot of projects while at Maryland and still continue to this day. We've worked on some things together. Most recently, Dean Radiger was a member of the 2018 AACP Professional Affairs Standing Committee, and that's the committee that I helped to staff through AACP. And so just wanted to give that example that a lot of times you'll meet people, you then after you finish your formal education and you know, develop those relationships and continue those collaborations through your career. I really do believe that the opportunities that your network can provide will assist you greatly as you continue to grow as a leader. And that leads me to my final point to leave you with, and that is embracing and growing in your own leadership. And some of you may be thinking, I'm not a leader. I don't want a big title. I'm going to graduate and I'm going to become a pharmacist and I'm going to serve my patients and that's it. And that's great and that's true. But regardless of what your title is, you will be looked upon as a leader. Everyone is a leader in healthcare in one way, shape, or form. And leadership is not about managing. It's not about directing. It's really about the ability to inspire and influence others toward a goal. And so with that, as a staff pharmacist, for example, working with a patient, regardless of the setting, that patient's going to look to you as a leader, someone to help them with the care of their medical condition, with learning more about their diabetes maintenance device or what have you. So just keep that in mind, that you don't have to be in a leadership position to be a leader. You don't have to have a big title. Leaders all have to have followers, and we all, as leaders, have to follow someone at one time or another. And leadership can change over time. You know, during a project, someone might take the initial lead in one way, and then someone else takes the lead in another way. As I mentioned earlier, your school is really dedicated for developing your leadership. We saw that through your school's mission and vision. And it is an expectation by the Accreditation Council as well. So take advantage of all of the opportunities that you're going to have through classes or special projects or research activities or through your student organization to learn more about the goal or that initiative, but also to stretch maybe some areas of leadership and taking charge or thinking differently than you may have in the past. I've read a lot of books and articles about leadership, but I really like this list that Brian Tracy, who is a leading authority on the development of human potential, has provided. The quality attributes and characteristics of a good leader. The leader does have vision. They're willing to look ahead and to use the past to help drive a clear vision for the future. A leader has to have courage. They're willing to take risks. They're willing for not only their own growth, but the insurance of success and the growth of others and their organization. A leader has to have integrity. They are truthful. You know that when you're dealing with them, what you see, when they say that they're going to do something, they're going to do it. And being truthful just makes life easier. I don't understand people that have different stories for different people. You know, it just makes sense to tell the truth and have that integrity. A leader also has to have the self-awareness and the humility to say, I don't know. You know, no one knows everything. And one of my favorite professors in pharmacy school, who unfortunately passed away several years ago, Fred Abramson, had a list of Fredisms that he would always share with us in school. And one of them was, surround yourself with smart people, because you're not going to know everything about everything, but you certainly can get people on your team and surround yourself with folks that know more than you in certain areas, so that the whole team and the whole progress of that team can grow. A good leader has strategic planning as part of their ability to lead. That, you know, being able to anticipate these past trends or looking at other organizations or other health professions or other professions that have gone through the same trajectory that pharmacy has, to see, okay, and try to determine what do we need in terms of strategic planning to move forward. A good leader has to have focus, the ability to look at the needs of a situation and prioritize, and to oftentimes have to pivot. You think about what your faculty members had to do back last March when COVID-19 hit and had to change in an instant, in a matter of weeks, the way that education was provided. Those were all of your administrators and faculty members and staff members are leaders because they were able to do that and do that effectively. And certainly leaders have the ability to bring that sense of community and bring together groups of people that sometimes have divergent views, bring them together to help them work cooperatively toward that goal. And so how can you develop your leadership during pharmacy school? Be present in all of the walks of things that you're going to have to do. Try not to be on, Facebook or Instagram or other social media sites when you're in class. Be present. Ask questions. Read. There's so much information out there, not only about pharmacy, but about healthcare. And healthcare is changing so quickly. It was changing quickly before COVID-19. But certainly now with all the different mandates that are coming down from various federal and state agencies, there is no shortage of information either in the lay press or in the peer-reviewed literature about the role that pharmacy has and can have in the future. And be an active participant in the organizations that are on campus, whether they're pharmacy related or not. Try to find that interest, the thing that really sparks you, that makes you happy, that you can work on and continue to learn about while in pharmacy school. And that might be something that might be a local issue or a local organization statewide or run for a national pharmacy office. It happens. You just never know where your interests will lie, but be open to that as well. So I mentioned the COVID-19 pandemic that we're still unfortunately all in. And pharmacists definitely stepped up and it wasn't stepping up because it was a matter of pharmacists doing what they always do, being a part of the patient care team. And certainly the media and most states really emphasize the fact that pharmacists and pharmacy workers were and are essential critical infrastructure workers across the country. So when some states shut down, basically things closed, one of the things that stayed open was pharmacy. And again, that's just a segment of our profession, but it was a very important segment for folks to continue to receive not only their medication, but the counseling, medication services that they had come to expect from pharmacists. Many pharmacists had to and are continuing to utilize, and hopefully will continue to utilize, telehealth, because many patients weren't able to leave and still aren't able to leave their homes due to their comorbid conditions. And so telehealth services and other avenues, other IT avenues to help with the monitoring and education and guidance to patients is something that pharmacists are a continuous part of. Pharmacists have continued to provide point-of-care testing throughout the pandemic as well. There's something called the CLIA-WAIT test, the Clinical Laboratory Improvement Amendment test, that are used to detect issues such as influenza and pharyngitis. And they're also used to monitor chronic conditions such as diabetes and high cholesterol. And these tests are ones that provide objective data straight away in real time to educate patients and help pharmacists help patients regulate or monitor the things that they need to do in terms of their disease states, their lifestyle management, referrals, different referrals to care and the like, and pharmacists continue to provide these as well. And certainly as COVID-19 tests, both antigen and antibody tests are becoming more commonplace, pharmacists are working in collaboration with laboratories and in some cases are doing them on their own sites with proper management to provide testing results. And this is only going to expand in the future. certainly pharmacies are going to, as these tests develop so that folks are able to do at-home COVID testing or other symptomatic tests that are real-time, pharmacists and pharmacies are going to be called on to help with it to improve the access of these tests for patients. And certainly pharmacists as immunizers. We are, as we all know, we're waiting on a series of clinical trials to be completed for vaccines. There's a number of them going on for various vaccines to help with the COVID-19 disease state. And pharmacists across all 50 states are able to provide some level of immunization. It may change depending on, each state is different, I should say, in terms of the type of immunization that a pharmacist could do or the age of patients. But certainly the COVID-19 vaccine is going to be something that pharmacists are going to be needed for in order to ensure that access is able to reach all segments of our population. And there are many on the national level as well as the state and local levels that are working to ensure that once those vaccines are proven to be safe and effective, that pharmacists can step right up to do that. And certainly in the state, this is a map that provides, as of August 9th, through the National Alliance of State Pharmacy Organizations, this shows where each state is in terms of providing a COVID-19 vaccine. And I'm happy to say that the state of New York, that you guys are ready. You know, your legislator has passed the laws that's needed so that once that vaccine has been found, that you all will be able to do that straight away. So in terms of my own leadership, I can tell you that in my first position as a pharmacist, my title was staff pharmacist. But when I walked in the door as a licensed pharmacist, those pharmacy technicians and my patients saw me as a leader. But I learned as much from them as they asked of me. And certainly as I moved through my career, I became more educated and self-aware about my own leadership. There are many, many tests out there, from the Myers-Briggs to the Strength Finders to the DISC test, that will not only tell you about your leadership style, but give you advice on how to work and collaborate with others whose leadership style may be different than yours. And that's all important to know, not only who you are, but how you can and should react and respond to those who don't see things exactly the same way that you do. I realized through my leadership as well the value of having a mentor. And I've had some mentors since I was in pharmacy school. One of my main mentors, even in my graduate education, Dr. Bob Beersley, who many on your faculty know very well, who just retired at the end of last year, he is still my mentor. I talk to him probably every other month about something. And so I really encourage you to seek out folks that maybe have followed the same trajectory that you want to go to, but also those that haven't, because I have found that you can learn through those informal mentors as well as through formal mentorship as well. And I would encourage you to really collaborate as much as you can. You're not going to have a choice really through pharmacy school. There's going to be opportunities for you to collaborate with each other. But as you become more involved with certain organizations, collaboration is really a hallmark of effective leadership, because there are going to be instances where you're going to work with people that don't see things the same way that you do. And a big part of being a leader is trying to find that consensus, or trying to find those areas of agreement that everyone can work towards to move that project or future forward. I really think that enhancing leadership skills is a continuous process. It's going to be something you're going to work out on throughout your career. And leadership really is about vision, direction, and being effective in promoting and creating change. And I have no doubt that you all will be able to do that. And so with that, again, I would like to thank you all for the opportunity to share some of my thoughts with you. I hope that you gained something from this. I have put on this slide my email as well as my contact information through LinkedIn and Twitter. Please feel free to connect with me. I really look forward to learning about all of the things that you all will be doing as a class of 2024. I really hope that you take some of this information as you start to explore, expand, and enhance. And I know that you will become great members of our profession. And I wish you the best of luck, health, and happiness now and always. Please take care and stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Bradley Baker. I'm Rachel Perry, the Assistant Dean for Enrollment Management and Student Affairs, and I'm pleased to be here today to witness this milestone for all of our incoming students in the class of 2024. I also want to thank all of your friends and family that are able to join us on the live stream this afternoon. White coat ceremonies have traditionally been used by schools of pharmacy as an outward sign of an inward and personal commitment to the profession. As our students walk across the stage today, they will receive their white coat and take the first step to a lifelong commitment to the profession of pharmacy. I will introduce each student and they will proceed to the stage to be coated by Dr. Kelsey Henning and Dr. Aaron Pauling. Students, please stay seated until your row is called and make sure you provide ample space between you and the student in front of you. The first row, you may stand and proceed to the stage. The first student receiving their coat today is joining us virtually, but I'd like to recognize Zachary Abe. Zara Ali. Haytham Abdel. Yanira Barazara. Alexa Baum. Jonathan Bryan. Irina Butte. Yvonne Chidume. Matthew Chin. Emily Edwards. Ryan Feeney. The second row can rise and come up to the stage. Richard Felber. Kia Fang. Shannon Gallo. Megan Gray. Kayla Helfeld. Gordon Huang. Saeed Huda. Eshraq Islam. Adam Casper. Prab Kar. The third row may rise and come to the stage. Brett Krumenacker. Kimberly Lawton. Alvin Lynn. Xiao Lu. Jordan Major. Louis Medence. Sayara Mumin. Hamda Nadim. Matthew Nunez. Caroline Odago. The fourth row may rise and come to the stage. Rahel Park. Benjamin Polacredi. Sophie Portnoy. Parisha Rashid. Michael Reaver. Brendan Savage. Stephanie Sennett. Sierra Sherling. Eric Smith. Kiara Strong. Jessica Westerman. Hannah Wyrock. Natalie Young. Please join me in congratulating all of the students who are joining the class of 2024 that received their white coats today. Students, please stand with your candle. A part of the commitment to the pharmacy profession is to become a lifelong learner. The passing of the light of knowledge symbolizes a very real exchange between you, your mentors, faculty members, and colleagues. You all hold in your hand an unlit candle. On either side of the theater stand student ambassadors who will impart knowledge to help you grow in the profession of pharmacy. The student ambassadors will light their candle and pass the light of knowledge on to you. This is just the beginning of your journey to become a pharmacist. Foster and nurture that light throughout your time here at Binghamton University School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences and onto your career as a pharmacist. I'm going to have you all turn around and face the live stream so your friends and family can watch. And I'm going to have the student ambassadors light their candle and pass the light of knowledge. Once all of your candles are lit, I'm going to have you turn around and face the stage, and I'm going to invite Dr. Rattinger up to the podium to have you recite the oath of a pharmacist. I would recommend grabbing your programs. The oath of the pharmacist is on the back of the program.
Thank you, Dean Perry. Before we begin, most of you have probably very infrequently either taken a vow or taken an oath. So this is really an important ceremony or time in your life, and it is the harbinger of your starting out your professional careers as pharmacists. So take a moment to savor the moment and to realize that this is an important moment. That's enough of that. Okay. So let's go ahead and repeat after me. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for my patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the lifelong obligation to improve my professional knowledge and competence. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. Thank you very much.
Students, you may now blow out your candle. And I'll have you all turn around one more time for the live stream and just wave to all of your friends and family that are watching. This concludes the white ceremony for the class of 2024. Please leave here today with your white coat as the outward symbol of the lifelong commitment you have vowed to the profession of pharmacy. Congratulations to all students in the class of 2024. I'm gonna have the first row exit to your right and up the aisle, and the other rows can follow behind.